Hi everybody, this is Kim. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today, this conversation is really important, and it couldn't come at a better time because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. This month is all about breaking the stigma, having real conversations, and shining a light on mental health challenges that often go unseen, especially when it comes to chronic illnesses like Parkinson's disease. Now, when most people hear Parkinson's, they immediately think tremors, stiffness, movement problems, but there's a whole other side to this disease that doesn't get talked about nearly enough, and that's mental health. In this video, I'm going to talk about 4 major ways that Parkinson's can impact mental well-being: anxiety, apathy, depression, and hallucination. And because May is all about awareness and connection, I'll also be sharing some real comments from real people and show how deeply these issues affect everyday people and families. So stick around. This is a conversation we all need to have. Let's start with anxiety. People with Parkinson often describe feeling a constant undercurrent of worry, like the what ifs, and they just don't shut off. What if I freeze while walking? What if I can't make it all the way to my car? What if I become a burden to my family? What if I can't live by myself anymore? Now, here's the thing. This isn't just emotional, it's biological. Parkinson's affects dopamine production, and dopamine isn't just about movement. It plays a big role in mood regulation and stress response. So that rising tension, the shortness of breath, the sense that something's wrong, even when there is nothing wrong, that's called anxiety. And for many with Parkinson's, it's relentless. And what makes it harder? People don't see it. They'll say, well, you look just fine. But anxiety can be paralyzing emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Next up, apathy. Let me tell you, apathy is not the same thing as depression. With apathy, it's more like the drive is just gone. Not sad, not angry, just meh. No motivation to do the things you used to love. And for caregivers, this can be so frustrating. It might seem like the person is being lazy, difficult, or even selfish, but this is a real neurological symptom. The parts of the brain responsible for motivation and decision-making are affected in Parkinson's. So this isn't a choice, it's a chemical imbalance. If you're the person experiencing apathy, you might feel guilty. If you're the caregiver, you might feel alone. Either way, it's not your fault. Now let's talk about depression. This is so common in Parkinson's. Nearly half of all people with Parkinson's experience depression. And we're not talking just about being sad once in a while. This is deep. It's the kind of sadness that can rob someone of joy, connection, and hope. Depression can start even before the motor symptoms show up. So if you or a loved one has Parkinson's and you're noticing a heavy emotional weight, please don't ignore it. There are treatments with therapy, medication, support groups that can help. You are not weak for needing help. You are strong for speaking up. And finally, let's talk about hallucinations. This one catches a lot of people off guard. For some, it starts with shadows, shapes in the corner of their vision. For others, it might be a fully formed people or animals that aren't really there. It can be scary, confusing, or even comforting. Yes, some people see long-lost loved ones or friendly visitors. My mom found the hallucinations kind of comforting. She actually enjoyed seeing she saw old friends, her husband who passed away several years ago, her mom. She called them angels. So she was a little sad when they went away. Now, not everyone with Parkinson's experiences hallucinations, but as the disease progresses, especially if certain medications are involved, hallucinations become more likely. This is not losing your mind. It's a symptom, and there are ways to manage it with the right medications, adjustments, and medical support. Keep in mind, not everyone will experience all of these impacts. Some people may not have any of them at all. Some people have some, but not others, and even some that are not on the list, which make it difficult for the doctors to help them. And it can really hurt the quality of life. But don't give up, because there is hope and there are treatments. I want to pause here and share some comments I found on a Parkinson's Foundation Facebook post. These are comments from real people. These are real voices, and I think they highlight just how powerful and personal this topic is. Rena said, "We thought Parkinson's was a shaking disease when my dad was diagnosed. Little by little, other symptoms developed that took him away from us. I hope research will find a cure." Marilyn said, "This verse, part of a poem I wrote, describes my Parkinson's perfectly. I waddled along in my own little way, with my writing mixed up and my sat-nav astray. My life was mapped out, but not anymore, 'cause my feet seem permanently stuck to the floor." And Jamie said, "I wish doctors would research natural remedies instead of all big pharma. I have tried 3 anxiety meds and they all make my Parkinson's symptoms worse. The anxiety is terrible. It's robbing me of enjoying my life." Imelda wrote, "It's hard to comprehend in 2025 that we still have general practitioners who are not willing to prescribe anxiety medication for their patients with Parkinson's. Anxiety can prevent Parkinson's patients from living a full life as possible by being unable to socialize and no interest in partaking in what they were interested in before their Parkinson's diagnosis. The Parkinson's Association should do something about this." And Tanya said, "Most people think it's a shaking disease because that's the way it's portrayed in the movies and on TV. Unfortunately, it's so much more than that. My mother has it, and shaking is the least of her problems." And finally, this one sums it up well. Mary said, "Welcome to my life." As you can hear from these posts, the mental health impacts of Parkinson's are sometimes worse than the physical symptoms. I've only mentioned the 4 major ways Parkinson's can affect mental health: anxiety, apathy, depression, and hallucinations. But I am sure there are many more. And while these can be incredibly difficult to navigate, there is hope. There are medications, therapies, and communities of people who understand what you're going through. And hey, as we recognize Mental Health Awareness Month, let this be a reminder that talking about these things matter. Whether you're someone living with Parkinson's or someone who loves the person dealing with Parkinson's, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Let's keep the conversation going. In this video, back up. If this video resonated with you, I'd love it if you could leave a comment below, share your story, like the video so more people can find it, and subscribe if you want to hear more of my honest conversations about this disease. Thanks for watching, and remember, mental health is health. Be kind to yourself and to the people around you. See you next time.